Welcome to Foppy Upcycle and other sewing challenges. I'm Jan. Thank you for coming to my channel. As you'll get to know if you decide to stick with me, I'm not a regular poster because I'm an upcycler. I don't buy fabric all the time unless I find it really cheap. So basically I don't want to waste money, and I don't want to waste or buy any new fabric because I've got lots of fabric here in my stash that hasn't cost me anything, or if it has, it was a long time ago, and I'm still got to get round to using it. So I think, to me, as an upcycler and trying to stop stuff going to landfill, it's part of my saving the world. No, I can't bring myself to keep buying new things unless it's new to me but second hand, and then it's given another life. But yeah, I get a little bit peeved and I feel a little bit uncomfortable when you watch people doing videos where they've been given a ton of clothes and they're just showing it off and everything, which some of it, I mean, I admit I watch and it's lovely, but a lot of the stuff they're buying is from things like Temu and is it Shein? And often the fabrics aren't very eco, put it that way. There's a lot of plastic in them and everything, and it just really doesn't sit well with me. Obviously we're forced to sometimes because the cost is cheaper, but I do try not to, as I say, unless it's second hand and you're at least giving it another life and it's not going to landfill. I'm still working my way through my fabrics. I may have said in another video, I've got a few free patterns that came with magazines. I had a year's subscription for a magazine, sewing magazine, and with that, every time it came through, every month, there was a pattern with it. That's another thing I will very rare, well, I don't buy again unless it's in a charity shop or unless it's a PDF free pattern. But I won't always, I'll get the pattern and I'll save it on my computer, but I won't necessarily print it off straight away because I want to be sure that I'm going to use it, because again, you're using a lot of paper to print that off and stick it together. So yeah, so that's why I'm not putting up very much, because I can't just for the sake of it, keep making things that may not get worn or maybe just end up going, or if it goes to a charity shop, it's not so bad, is it? Because someone else hopefully will give it another life. Even things that I make and I don't wear them as often as I would have liked, if at all, I try and think of a way of trying to upcycle it and make it slightly different so that it's more suitable for me and for what I need it for. And talking of which, it's been so long I can't even remember, but it was before I was properly into upcycling and everything, and it must be 20 years ago. I went to evening classes to do some sewing, and I got a pattern then for a really nice summery dress. And I'd started making it, and then I don't know why, but I'm not very good. See, that's another reason why I don't put them out all the time. I'm not very consistent. If I start something, I don't always keep going with it. I don't know if it's boredom or what. I'm very easily distracted and want to do something else. So, as I say, it's too long ago to remember why. Frog in my throat. But I started this dress, and it was a really nice mid-calf length dress that went in at the waist, and never finished it. And it's just been hanging around. I wasn't going to throw it away. My intention was to eventually finish it. And I came across it the other day and I thought, I know what I do, and when you think about it, 20 years is a long time, and I was just even pleased that it would even fit me or go anywhere near me. So what I did, I cut the top half off that was going to be the top that I never finished, because the difficult thing is for me now, I have to have tops that cover my bra properly and cover the cups, because obviously I wear a prosthetic. Certain things just make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, because I feel like everybody can see that prosthetic. They probably aren't looking at all, it's just me. But anyway, yeah, this dress, it was in this fabric, which I suppose you could say that's quite dated really, but it's a cotton. Whether it's 100% or not, I can't remember. As I say, I bought it too long ago. And yeah, so I cut it, and then I measured the length I want it, which is just about to my ankle, to my waist. Measured that all the way around, chopped it off, and then I made a interfacing around the waist. It's not got a waistband, it just sits on the waist. I found a zip that I had in my stash that worked perfectly as well. I'll put a picture in anyway. Yeah, and I just did some top stitching on it and everything, and now I'm just praying that I do wear it, because it's very nice, summery, lightweight, and that if I have a nice white or brown top with it, it'll look okay. As I say, I'll slot a picture in just to show you. Yeah, talking about fabric, as I said, I only ever buy it when it's cheap. We went shopping, not really shopping. Oh yeah, it's shopping. I went with Sharon and our friend Jackie to our second-hand shops. Went to a Vid Grenier shop, and we went to Emmaus, and I've mentioned both those before in other videos. I started to with Sharon. I was going to help her make a top, and she said, I've got lots of fabric, but as it turned out, the fabric she had, she didn't have as much as she thought, so when it came to making it, we just couldn't start, so that project was abandoned. So Sharon's idea was to go and try and find some fabric sort of second hand or cheaply, so that was what we did. And she managed to get a curtain, which was a really good fabric. I don't know if you remember, but I have made a top from a curtain. If I remember, I'll try and slot a picture in of that. And she also found some bed linen, which was in red and white, and quite a nice detailed pattern that hopefully we'll be able to use for one of the tops. I'm trying to pick at one of the simpler ones. I mean, I don't get complicated if I can help it, but I'm trying to give her a simple one that she can do, because she's never made herself a piece of clothing from scratch. So I think I'm trying to get her to get the bug so that she'll do it, because at the moment she knits, but she takes her time over knitting, and especially when she's like recently, she keeps on knitting things in really dark colours, and you know what that's like. It's really difficult to work on if you haven't got really good lighting. So yeah, anyway, that was why we ended up in these shops looking for fabric. And first of all, I didn't find anything in the Vid Grenier shop, which is like a boot fair inner shop. They have little booths where they sell things as like you would at a boot fair or a flea market or something, but they have booths instead, and it just sits in the shop until someone buys it. In my opinion, too expensive, but anyway, I found this. It's black and white, and it's, I don't know if you can tell from there, but it's quite a sort of weighty, it's probably a viscose or something like that, but is at least 2.5 meters there. I did have the tag on it with the amounts, and I want to try and use as much of that as I can. Whether that would be a long top or, well, I'm not sure yet, but that was €4, so that was very cheap. And then this is more like a sort of lightweight blanket, you can see, and I love green. And being that, I mean, the pattern is just overall, so it's quite easy to use really. and it's got tassels on the end. Whether I incorporate the tassels in what I make, I don't know. But it was just basically a throw. Oh, it's actually it's IKEA. It's called Hornmail. And yeah, I've not bought it as a throw. I bought it as fabric, and it's 130 by 170 centimeters. So you've got just over 1.5 meters one way and just under 1.5 meters the other. I'm not sure at the minute what I mean, it's big enough, I think, that I could make some sort of cardigan, yeah, of sorts, or a sleeveless over thingy, gilet type thing. I don't know. But again, €4. So, as they always say, you can't go wrong.